Okay, hello, this is a continuation of the previous video recording. Let me give you what we have done so far. So when you click this, then it goes to the next, that summaries of all those data. This is a little wider, so if you want to reduce that, for example, rather than 65, let's say 55, and see how it affects little narrow, right? Okay, so what happens here in this navigation controller, of course you may have another buttons, but in this simple demo, if you click this, then goes to the one of our MySQL database, and then convert to SQL statements, and that's in that PHP files, it returns to the JSON files. So receiving that JSON file in the next view controller, and we display each rows in this cell. So this table view contains multiple of cells. A cell is nothing but a row. So when you click one cell here, then we need to take that data to the next view controller, again access the database and receive JSON files and display it. Very similar to this, but that is another thing that we need to do. Okay, so we already had that shift to Swift files, and we need to divide this. Say this is left-hand side usage summary, and right-hand side I want to put it in details. Okay, so right now we do not have anything there. Before we do, I think we need to have some connection of from our data here, right? This is cell details, so we need to create another class, say cell, I would say each sensor cell, okay, that is UI table view cell. Okay, so we have two classes. First of all, this, okay, this is a table view. This table view, outside the table view, should come here, right? And then we call that table view my sensor data, and then connect. Come back here, this is cell details. We need to have here that class. This cell detailed cell also has the class that we already defined there, right? We call it each sensor cell. So that is this. That should be done. Otherwise we cannot bring this, each one of this there. So bring that here, that goes there. So we can say sensor. Cannot insert a new, that does not understand yet. Okay, that's fine. Let's try the other first. We'll come back. And here, summary. Same thing here. This guy should have UI view controller. No, UI table view. Table view delegates, and UI table view data source. Therefore, this guy asks us to define the required methods. If you click this, then as we did previously, these two available. So we copy that to the later part of that. Okay, and then here Again, we need the same SQL variable. Okay. And then here, this is a view did load. So we want to have the same one as that. And then we want to simply copy this download JSON and then copy it, because we use the same variable, MySQL result, so we do not have that problem. Here the problem here is that this ones should be changed here. Not all data, but my TV, my sensor data. Okay. Only we need to massage it here is we need this, right? Because this guy is a little wider the depth, so let's make it say 75. And then here nothing but this, so we can copy and paste here. This guy, so let cell equals TableView dot DQ reusable cell, and then identifier for that is, if we bring storyboard here, okay, there's a cell ID. If you click this, cell ID is a cell detailed, right? So we call it cell detailed. And then for index path. And here I'm going to bring it the summary. And finally, we need to have return cell. Okay, that way that error goes out. And once we have that, we didn't do it yet. So we need to have it as, and then class name. Class name here is each sensor cell. So I'm going to bring it here, and then that should be each sensor cell, like here all sensor cell. Okay. And in that cell, now we have LB we didn't make it yet, right? We didn't have that yet, which means there's no connection between this graphical components. For each per sensor, that should come here. LB sensor connect. Okay, now it goes in. Remember the previous we had error. Why? Because that time this guy does not know yet, right? So it takes time sometimes. So LB model, this data, then LB data, and sensor, sender, come back here, LB sender, data, LB date, not data, date. So we have 5 of those. So 3 rows will be displayed, right? So that needs to be handled here. So we need to bring the summary here. Similarly, cell.lb sender text should hold from my SQL result, which is a nested array. So we have index path dot row. There, what we need to do, again, we need to know here size secure. Okay, yeah, this is good. Yun. Then user ID, S type, D type, T stamp, send data. Those are the key that we are going to use, right? So for sender, that is nothing but user ID, right? So we're going to use this for 5 of those. So I'm going to copy and paste. And then this is not LB sender, but what's next one? It's a model. Okay. Then this is not ID. That should be model is, I think that is, oh, this is a sensor, right? It's not user ID. Sender. No, this is, I mean, first one is a sensor. Then that is sense type, S type. Model, then there is D type. Another one, oh, sorry. That is LB data, right? LB data, then there is called send data. Here, I think this is it. Let's try to run. Oh, we have something here, but see here. Oh, this is a previous one. Okay, we need to massage that storyboard. Looks good, but why? Then we can bring that up a little further. Okay, and then let's run it. Going to bring it details. Let's say 95. Okay. Didn't show. Oh, the problem here is that not this. I'm sorry. Send not just retrieve. Oh, one more thing that we need to do here. All right. In the summary, when one of the row is clicked, then we need to do a little further here. We need to prepare the data to send to next view controller, right? So we need to do here prepare. Let's say prepare to that segue in the code. Very similar to the one that we did here, segue dot identifier, if it is equal to segue detailed, I think. We can check to see if it is. Storyboard. Seg SG detailed. Okay. So in the summary, SG detailed. If it is that one, then we need to do let destination is segue the destination as, and then the file name VC detailed. VC detailed. Okay. And then the destination so that particular user needs to go out there, right? So let's say user, let's say here, in this detailed, we need to have a variable should be received. So variable user ID string. Okay. And in the summary, that user not yet recognized. So user ID. Let's clean up to see. In the summary, so test. Okay, now user ID should be received by my SQL result dot TV all data from that table views, and then that is index for selected row. It has a row number, and we use user ID only. Okay, we need to put here exclamation mark, real ones, right? And then once that a particular row is clicked, then another thing that we could do is we need to do deselect to row, and then TV all data dot index path, same as that, index path selected row, exclamation mark, and then animated ones true. What happens is, so one row is clicked, then let it to be not selected. Therefore, it can be selected again and again, right? So from the first the list of the summary page, table views, if that clicked once, then that can be sent to the next view controller by this preparation. Okay, so come back to this detailed one here, then that is received user ID. Then user ID should be used when we access this, right? So what happens here is that after this URL, then we need to do let post data equals ID equals ID plus user ID. This user ID is received from the previous view controller, right? That we already received from here, from the preparation of the previous view controller. So that is combined with the ID. Why we use that? In the access, we need to use this ID equals yun. That's exactly what we did here. Okay, so ID equals yun post data. And then what we need to do here, request HTTP body. Body is nothing but post data dot data using string dot encoding dot UTF-8. So data is encoded that way, and then this is a body. This is a URL. Request is that URL. Method post in the body. We have that encodings, right? Here we have URL from here there, and then post is a technical inside method, and this ID is encoded here. It's not encrypted yet. Okay, so it goes there and bring it. So let's see. So if we click this, go there. All right, so a little bit of something. So what we need to do, we need to make a little wider. Sender here. Sensor, and then model all the way. Date also all the way there. Sender name. Data. Data, I'm going to change the color to blue. Okay. Model color, maybe gray. Okay. So let's try. Data. Not all the information, but we, for example, John Yoon, then we have a type. This is a sensor. This is type, and this is a sensor information, and this is data and sender. And here, your calendar timestamp or machine timestamps. All right, I think this is it. Thank you so much.